Training a dog is kind of like building a house. If the foundation isn't solid, every effort made at gaining dog obedience will yield unpredictable and oftentimes short-term results. So how do you build a strong foundation for effective dog training? Well, you need to establish yourself as the alpha dog and gain your dog's respect. This is the very first thing that needs to be established. And the theory sounds simple enough. However, a majority of dog owners out there will unknowingly flub this crucial component and wind up with a dog that's always fighting them to gain the top spot on the pack hierarchy. It's by far the most common dog training obstacle that sabotages the entire relationship. Now that said, you don't have to fall victim to the hardships of an unruly dog. There really is a scientific process based on rules that will steer you clear out of the funk of a rebellious pooch. And this process for establishing alpha status is tied together by a system of controlling your dog's three environmental outlets: food, rest, and socialization. When you restrict or control all of these three facets to your dog's life, he'll soon understand that he's dependent upon you for his freedom. And with this dependency comes a respect and obedience for your command. The method is simple, effective, and it creates a fast bond between the both of you. So let's talk about the first environmental control: food. You're going to control your dog's food by determining when, where, and what your dog eats. This means feeding at set times in specific amounts. A key to this discipline is not responding to begging. There is no, and I mean no, feeding from the table or giving human food of any kind. And as much as you love your dog, during the initial phases of dog training, you must enforce a separation in the hierarchy of your status. Don't level the playing field by making him feel entitled to eat the same food you do. This specific facet of his life, eating, is directly associated with survival. And this process is going to solidify his correlation between surviving and depending on your care. He needs you to eat. This dependency will enforce his instinct to please you through obedience. Always remember, you are the alpha dog, and you decide when the pack eats. The second major factor is rest. Other than being a necessity for living, rest is also kind of a privilege. It's an outlet for relaxation and enjoyment. And you're going to control this variable by deciding where your dog sleeps. That means no allowing him up on the couch or the bed. Those are your resting areas, and you are the alpha dog. The alpha dog decides where and when the rest of the pack sleeps. You control the pace of the pack and the level of activity. So administer this control by setting limits on where your dog may rest. This principle is something that actually inspired the idea behind crate training. Now, if you decide against crate training, that's fine. However, you absolutely must create limits and boundaries for your dog's resting habits. And the third major factor is socialization. And this is perhaps the biggest variable that you need to control. It's also one of the more difficult ones to enforce because it takes a lot of diligence and patience on your part. When your dog approaches you, you need to force obedience before rewarding him with affection. And this incorporates when your dog is greeting you when you get home, or when he just wants you to pet him and he approaches you. So that means when your dog nuzzles his head into your hand or lap, before petting him or speaking in a playful, pitchy tone, you should issue commands to exercise his submission. Have him sit, lay down, give paw, stay, or heel. These are all essential tricks that you should constantly train him on. And the true power of these commands isn't, to impress your friends or visitors. The power lies in exercising your dog's attention and enforcing your dominance in the relationship. When you're first training your dog, your love should be treated as a reward, or it's going to be taken for granted. Once you have an obedient puppy and you're confident that this respect will not go astray, you can dispense your affection without thought. But in the beginning, you'll want to follow this guideline for best results. Now, these are hard and fast rules, and many people I encounter, they don't understand them at first. However, nearly everyone who enforces them experiences almost immediate results within a week, usually. So keep at it and continue your training, knowing that your dog wants to be led. Following a pack leader is the most natural instinct your dog has. Facilitate this need by becoming the alpha dog and take the anxiety out of his actions. And really, this is just one piece to the pie. There are so many specific tactics used to correct bad dog behavior problems, along with shaping the relationship you desire. For an amazing free dog training video on my website, check out www.dog-training-works.com right now. You can watch my free step-by-step video, Dog Training Basics. And there you'll learn the fundamental rules for realizing the kind of dog obedience that most people really only dream of. So check it out now. Start training the right way. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.